The Switch 2 has already become a rousing success for Nintendo, selling 3.5 million units in 4 days, with their flagship title being Mario Kart World. And there's no way Nintendo doesn't take the chance to milk one of their best-selling games. I think that without a doubt we will be getting updates for Mario Kart World, and today I'm going to go over 10 update ideas Nintendo could add to Mario Kart World. Starting off with what I think is the most obvious update we could be receiving for the game, and that is the soon-to-come Donkey Kong update. It's very apparent that recently Nintendo has been pushing Donkey Kong as a character, giving him a brand new redesign, giving him his entire own 3D game, but yet in Mario Kart World, this monkey's only got one costume. What? There is no doubt that this was purposely done to later add more costumes, and perhaps we'll see new looks of Donkey Kong in Donkey Kong Bonanza with power-ups or abilities which will later become costumes in Mario Kart World, and that's why they're not there yet. If we're lucky, we could also see the introduction of a few new racers like the supposed baby Pauline, which is going to be in this game, or perhaps just new looks for the existing Pauline, as she also only has 2 costumes in the game right now. We could potentially see the reintroduction of a few of Donkey Kong's courses throughout the Mario Kart franchise too, like DK Mountain, DK Summit, and DK Jungle. Perhaps with this update we could see a Donkey Kong Country Island actually make its way onto the sides of the map, but I think that's getting a bit hopeful. This update could also clear up why Diddy Kong is currently completely missing from the roster, and could also add a fan favorite of Funky Kong back too. There could also be a few returning karts like Donkey Kong's Barrel Kart and also his Rambi Kart. I think Nintendo purposely made Donkey Kong's representation quite minuscule in this game's release so they could follow up with this big Donkey Kong update to hype up his game even more. And if they don't, then they just did my boy dirty in this game. Diddy isn't even here. A second potential update we could be seeing is a battle mode update. We all know that battle mode got the short end of the stick in this game once again, unfortunately. Although I will admit it's a lot more fun than you think. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe introduced brand new battle mode game modes, from Shine Thief to Renegade Roundup. Although when coming into Mario Kart World, we ended up going back to just Balloon Battle and Coin Runners. Why would Nintendo backtrack and make battle mode even more boring? Well, perhaps that is because they have a battle mode extension update planned. This update could of course re-add these game modes which were in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe to Mario Kart World and leave it at that, or they could even introduce new and returning battle courses. Unfortunately, most of the battle courses we have in the game currently are just existing racetracks turned into a sort of pseudo battle course. I will never forgive them for not bringing back Chain Chomp Roulette. At least we did get the music though. And fan favorites like Funky Stadium haven't returned at all yet, and I think this game's a great chance for them to do so. Battle mode's in a unique position where they could add new tracks without actually having them anywhere on the entire map, but I don't think Nintendo wants to do that at all for this game. I think they want everything to be somewhere on the map. So I'm really unsure on if we'll get any new courses for battle mode at all, but I would at least love to see some returning game modes from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And hear me out, right? Take the DK Spaceport rocket launch pad, launch the rocket off it, and then turn what's left into Funky Stadium. There's already tons of half pipes here. Am I predicting the future? I sure hope so. And this leads into my next update prediction, and that is more advanced custom rule sets. In the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass, we saw the introduction of single item only races and being able to customize which items show up in the entire race. This was really unique and allowed you to do stuff like rounds that only have blue shells. Unfortunately, this is absent in Mario Kart World, and I'd love to see fun rules like this re-implemented into the game, because right now the only item options are normal and frantic. We don't even have stuff like bananas only, which were included in past games. Being able to customize the item loot pool as you wish would be brilliant. And maybe they could shove in like an impossible difficulty for the CPUs or something, I don't know. While looking at the versus race menu, I can't help but realize that something is definitely very absent here, and I'm sure you all know exactly what it is. This is the next thing which could be added in an update, and that is 200cc. 200cc has become beloved and hated by many Mario Kart fans, and is for some reason completely missing from Mario Kart World. I think this is almost guaranteed to come in a future update. Although I can't help but notice that a lot of the tracks feel really short in this game, especially after you drive to them and do one lap on them. I feel like 200cc might make some of these courses go by too fast. Although I think 200cc is a perfect mechanic for modes like Knockout Tour, I think it could get seriously intense. Due to the short track length, perhaps 200cc could do a new thing where when you drive to a course, you still will do 3 laps on that course because of how fast you're going to whiz around it in 200cc. This could turn the fast-paced nature of this game up to 11, and I think it could be seriously fun and also absolutely dreadful in the best way possible. Mirror mode somehow made its way into this game again, and unfortunately it was not the reverse track mode I was dreaming of. This next potential update is a brand new CC mode, reverse CC mode. Doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean. Honestly, I wish this would just replace mirror mode, but having it alongside it would be cool, I guess. A lot of the tracks in Mario Kart World can be driven on backwards, and if you drive into them in a certain way, you can actually do so in official races. Unfortunately, there is no way to select a 3-lap reverse mode. And this is something Nintendo could easily do in this game. Even if some tracks are impossible in reverse, they could easily add extensions to the track like they did in Mario Kart Tour to make such things possible. I think reverse mode would just be a nice way to add even more replayability to this game, and it's something which I cannot believe is missing. Get mirror mode out of here, replace it with reverse mode, please. This next one is pretty obvious, the Racer expansion. Without a doubt, Nintendo could add even more characters to this game, and they seem very fond of doing so. There's tons of different characters which are already in the game which could be added as racers. For example, add the Luma. I want to drive as the Luma. You know what? Screw it. Add the anglerfish dude who's near Wario Shipyard. Honestly, I could go on. There's so many characters they could add. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, they could easily add Diddy Kong and Funky Kong. And one thing I'd like to see is at least one costume for every single character. Pokey could easily have a Snow Pokey costume, as Snow Pokeys literally roam the map. Piranha Plant could easily have a Fire, Bone, and Ice Piranha Plant skin. Spike could turn into the weird blue version he has in those 2D games. Parabidibud could simply have some color changes. The Dolphin could become Dr. Dolphin from that Dr. Mario mobile game. Please, Nintendo, please add these. But I think it's likely that we could see additions to the costumes in the game, especially just because of the case with Donkey Kong, where he only has one skin. When he's one of Nintendo's main characters here, there's without a doubt at least Donkey Kong skins coming. There's no way there's not. This next one is just me hoping, but I'd love to see them add new, crazy, wacky, custom game modes. And I can see why these wouldn't be in the game on release, but rather let everybody get used to the game and then add this craziness afterwards. Games which are super famous in the modding communities of Mario Kart, like Item Rain, would be so fun in Mario Kart World, and they're basically already implemented. I'm sure you've seen the stars in Free Roam which just fall from the sky and you can go and pick up. There's also a small chance for it to start raining item boxes. Just make this happen constantly in races, it would be so fun. Realistically, the possibilities with these unique game modes are endless. For example, there could be a game mode which changes all the NPC cars into Bomb-On cars. This would be super fun too. Or there could be a game mode where the track is absolutely filled with tons of different enemies spawned in by Kamex or something. I just think there's a lot of untapped potential with this game, and I don't think Nintendo's gonna let that just slide. I really hope they pull through with some unique stuff in the future, and I think they're purposely waiting so they save the best for last. At least that's my hope. This one's a rather smaller update, but I think in a patch for the game or something, they could add more features to the photo mode. One of which I can't believe isn't a thing already is using the stickers which you can collect in your photos. Currently, you get stickers from basically doing everything in the game, and all they kind of do is go next to your profile picture. They don't have much purpose at all, and I really would like these to be able to be stuck on in photo mode. It would give them at least a little bit more usage and a little bit more fun to be had in the photo mode. I think another update which could be a possibility is the introduction of new items in an update, returning or new. I think items like the Thundercloud from Mario Kart Wii would actually be really fun in Mario Kart World. For those of you that don't know, the Thundercloud activates itself. It increases your speed until it eventually shocks you and shrinks you. Every time you hit into an opponent, it will actually transfer the Thundercloud to them, like a hot potato. I think in the hecticness of Mario Kart World, this would be a really fun item, trying to profit off of the speed and then whack it onto someone else just in time. And although a lot of people hate this item, I honestly think this is the game for it. Another one which in my opinion is a must is the return of the fake item box. In almost all Mario Kart, it's very obvious to know exactly where the item boxes are going to be, all in a nice symmetrical line. So for the most part, there's no way anybody falls for the fake item box. But in Mario Kart World, in some cases you can find random item boxes all sprayed across the course because they've been dropped from a plane or something. This would make the fake item boxes blend in so much more, and I think this would be a really fun item to get people with. And one thing I do wish came back for this game were character-specific items. This is just a pipe dream though. I don't think this will happen, especially not in an update, because this will change the entire kind of gameplay of the game, so there's no way this will happen. But who knows, maybe for some reason there'll be an update which adds player-specific items back. That'd be cool, but I doubt it. And the last update idea is definitely the least likely to be added, but I think a world expansion with new courses or old courses returning would be awesome. There's a few ways Nintendo could do this. They could simply add courses in the current map. A popular fan idea is to add islands around the outskirts of the map, which add new courses on said islands. But the idea I had was for them to add an entire different world on top of the existing one. What I mean by this is adding some sort of sky world where there's a bunch of courses which can be spawned in above the existing tracks, like Sky Garden and Cloudtop Cruise, making all the new tracks going thematically very nicely together, and also being able to exist in the same space as the current map. You could also do the reverse of this and create a complete underground area, which consists of courses like Super Bell Subway, Piranha Plant Pipeline, and hey, maybe even a completely underground version of Mushroom Gorge or something. Or we could go full Fortnite on their asses and flip the entire map in the ocean and have an entire different world on the other side. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, but we can always dream. So those are my Mario Kart World update predictions and ideas. Some of them definitely won't come true, but it's always nice to be hopeful. What do you guys think of my ideas, and what are yours? Did I miss any potential update ideas which Nintendo could add that you thought of? If so, let me know down in the comments. If you want to see more Nintendo and Mario Kart content, then make sure to subscribe, and I will keep it up for you guys. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you very much to this channel's members, JoJoRune Kris and Sardeliny. Thank you so much for supporting me.